It's Sunday morning here at Grass Valley Air Attack Base, Nevada County Airport, and Highway 49 is open, Newtown Road is open, and all the evacuations have been lifted. For the Jones fire, the area has been repopulated. Let's go take a look on the ground and see how things went on the Jones fire and help explain how the dynamics of that fire played out from on the ground. The historic Kentucky Flat Hill Schoolhouse is still here. Let's go down and take a closer look at the old John Woolman School on the Jones fire. Juan Brown for the Grass Valley Union here at the old John Woolman School, Sierra Friends Institute, I think it's called nowadays, here in pretty much right in the middle of the Jones fire. A lot of the structures were lost and a lot of the structures were saved here at the old John Woolman School. They're taking out a couple of dead snags down there right now. By the way, it's Sunday morning, about 9 a.m. And of course the fire is out, but they're still working on containment lines, cleaning things up. And there's an example of one of the saved buildings surrounded by fire. They do have a lot of metal roofs on their structures here at the old John Woolman School, and that may have been a big part in those structures being saved, the ones that were saved. They lost quite a few structures back up in there. So too early to tell what they're going to do with the school or the property. They're still working on getting hold of the insurance company. Jones Fire, John Woolman School area. And here's an example of some of the buildings that were lost here at the school. The big one back over there. They had one fire engine for structure protection in here, and so they had to make a triage type decision. So they let these buildings go in the timber, and the buildings that survived were up there in greener pastures, metal roofs. This is a typical Dozer line that CAL FIRE uses to contain these fires. When they come up with a plan of where to draw the containment lines around the fire, they'll back off of the direct attack of the fire and draw these lines in and cut these lines in with these bulldozers. During the fire, they're going to cut these bulldozer lines clean, right down to hard dirt. Once the fire is out, they got to start thinking about erosion control already for the next season. So they'll begin to take some of the material that's been cut and lay it back down into the containment line to provide some basic erosion control for the next winter. Right now they got to make a decision. We got this weather pattern where we might be seeing, you see the sun behind me there, we might be seeing some more thunderstorm activity, dry lightning activity. So they don't want to completely cover up these dozer lines yet with material. They want to keep them opened up, which is going to delay the treatment of these dozer lines for erosion control. So that's how the dozer lines work on these fires here in Northern California. It's what stops the fire. That's what makes the containment numbers go upward, very up and down when they get these lines cleaned up the way they want them. Looks like the old John Deere house survived. His collection has been moved. He's right on the southern edge of the Jones fire. This is the fire boundary, Newtown Road. And there is some signs of the spotting that was indicated on the scanner just on the other side of Newtown Road, right over there. Here on Newtown Road, this was the southern end, the farthest push of the Jones fire. On day one, the fire ignited closer down to the Yuba River and pushed a long, straight run to the south, pushed by collapsing thunderstorms, the very same thunderstorm that ignited the fire. And crews were able to get this fire stopped here at Newtown Road with some minor spotting on the other side. Had the winds been any worse, this fire could have easily taken over, jumped over Newtown Road and continued right in towards Grass Valley. Fire crews at 750 acres or so, crews have done a wonderful job of saving a lot of structures just around the outside of the Jones fire boundary. There's the old John Deere house right there. Had the fire jumped Newtown Road, it could have easily headed right up the Slate Creek drainage up to Ridge Road and Morgan Ranch, part of Grass Valley, right up there. That's why all that was evacuated. Here's something you see on telephone poles these days near these fire areas as they spray the lower portion of them with retardant to preserve the grid. Here on the north side of the Yuba River Canyon on 49, the power lines cut through, and this was the alternate backup plan. Air tankers laid a line of retardant right along this already cut out power line cut, just in case where the fire ended down here in the Yuba River Canyon, it escaped the planned containment lines for this area. So 2 backup lines of retardant were laid in this canyon in an effort to back up the original containment lines where this fire finally ended. Because once the north wind quit after day one, we returned to our typical weather pattern where the winds come out of the west during the afternoon and gently blow out of the east in the evenings, the diurnal breeze. And the concern was then that the fire could snake on up the Yuba River Canyon around Nevada City or blow on up the Rush Creek drainage along Highway 49 right into Nevada City. That's why those areas were evacuated late into the game. So if you're wondering where all that retardant, some nearly 200,000 gallons worth of retardant went, here's a bunch of it along the Rush Creek drainage portion of the Jones fire alongside Highway 49. And it was just up above here on Rush Creek where the fire was stopped from continuing further on up Rush Creek towards Nevada City. I hope this gives you a better understanding of some of the dynamics that were going on with the Jones fire here in Nevada County. A very close call. See you here.